This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
Welcome to the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters award-winning YCN Game of the Week. Tonight, YCN is in White River Junction, Vermont for a Division I semifinal clash between the host Hurricanes of Hartford taking on the Cougars of Mount Mansfield. YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Low-End Windows of Vermont and New Hampshire, providing solution-oriented, extraordinary service before, during, and after the sale. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. And by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more.
Good evening and welcome to a blustery White River Junction, Vermont for tonight's Division I semifinal matchup between the Mount Mansfield Cougars and the Hartford Hurricanes. I'm Jeremy Stout. I'll be joined shortly by Andrew Zerhide, and tonight the Mount Mansfield Cougars, who upset Burlington in the first round of the playoffs. It was their first playoff game in 8 years, so they'll look to keep the magic going as they travel south to White River Junction. And Andrew, who should we be watching for tonight as we have the Cougars looking to keep that momentum going?
Right, yeah, for the Cougars, we're going to be keeping an eye on number 12, Asa Carlson, the junior quarterback, as well as number 35, Jarek Hackney, the junior running back. Look for the pair of juniors to really be a force on offense here for them tonight. All
right, and for the Hurricanes, we've seen this team once this year. They have won 12 straight home playoff games, and they're looking to keep their momentum going and repeat as Division I champions this year.
Yeah, so for the Hurricanes, we're going to be keeping an eye on number 12, Tyler Hamilton, and number 28, Cody Rose, quarterback and running back. Look for the pair of seniors to be leading their team in their final home game.
All right, so we have an exciting matchup here ahead of us for the YCN Game of the Week. It's the Cougars and the Hurricanes after this.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide in White River Junction, Vermont, where the Hartford Hurricanes will be kicking off to start this playoff contest. Kicking to the Cougars. Back deep to catch it, Silas Diamond, number 22, and also the man who fields it, number 80. With the fake reverse, Mason Combs, he cuts to the right side, and he is upended on the far side, just in front of the Cougar bench and almost to the 30-yard line.
Tune in every week for YCN Sports Talk, focusing on our region's college and professional sports with the Salt Hill Pub NFL Picks of the Week. And starting next week, Sports Wrap will feature specials on Vermont and New Hampshire high school championships in football and girls soccer. Check for air schedules at ycnnow.com.
So Mount Mansfield coming into this one as the 6th seed, 6-3 in the regular season, upsetting Burlington last week. They'll drop back to pass on their first play from scrimmage. It's a little over the head of the receiver. That was number 12, Asa Carlson, over the head of the running back. And it will fall incomplete, bring up 2nd down and 10. So they were happy to get into the playoffs for the first time in 8 years and winning the game on the road, so a big upset. And their reward for the upset is facing this Hartford team who's won 12 straight home playoff games. Handoff this time, and off the right side is number 35, Jarek Hackney, and he's able to bust free for what looks to be maybe a 10-yard gain, might be a yard short. And they'll mark it just a yard short. They'll mark the ball at the 37-yard line. Needs to get just about to the 38 for the first down. So, Andrew, we've been here before. We've seen this Hartford team, and a Hartford team who really a very good season, only losing the one game to St. Johnsbury, and good combination of offense and defense as we see the running back up the middle. Hackney is able to break free, and that Hartford defense so far is a little bit slow on the starting drive.
Yeah, you can see Hackney is a pretty elusive back. He's very athletic. He has the speed. When he gets going, he's going to be hard to tackle. So Hartford, really, they have to meet him right up at the line if they want any chance of stopping him here tonight.
So 1st and 10, new set of downs at the 48-yard line of the Cougars. Carlson in the shotgun, empty backfield. He drops back, quick pass, and that's incomplete. It looks like that one was intended for Hackney, and the defender right there to wrap him up after the ball falls incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local event, parade, or concert televised into over 200,000 households, contact us at info@ycnnow.com.
So Carlson will be in the shotgun again, but this time Hackney will be behind him, and he jets off to the right side. Hackney going deep, Carlson going deep. It's tipped and almost intercepted. That one was number 12, Tyler Hamilton, falling for that one, but couldn't quite come up with it.
Yeah, Hamilton looked like he had maybe a chance to make a play on that ball, but he made contact with the ground. The ball came out. Would have been a big turnover to start off this game, but Hartford now forcing a 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Let's see if they can hold strong.
Carlson again in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers. One goes in motion. Fakes the handoff to the motion man and gives it to Hackney up the middle, and he is tackled after crossing the 50, but he doesn't get enough for the 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down.
That was number 64, Justin Bettis there on the tackle. Nice job by him tackling Hackney there. That's exactly what they have to do. Looks like they're going for a 4th down.
Well, it looks like their quarterback is the punter. I'm guessing he's dropped back pretty far, but you're right, it is the quarterback still in there. And as we see a lot in college football, there's Carlson with a nice low line drive kick. And nice coverage downfield, and that's where it will be down at the 5-yard line. So after stalling out on their first drive, they get the nice punt from Carlson. The Hurricanes will take over at their own 5-yard line. When we come back, you're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide. Hartford Hurricanes taking over now for their first offensive possession after holding the Cougars to a punt. And the first play from scrimmage is the handoff up the middle. Cody Rhodes with a nice spin move. He gains a few yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The YCN scoreboard sponsor is La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. And Bubba's Bar and Grill, overlooking the beautiful Newberry Harbor on Lake Sunapee.
Wind picking up here in White River Junction, where the Hurricanes will keep it on the ground over the line of scrimmage and almost to the 1st down marker. It looks like they're going to mark it as 3rd down, just less than a yard short. That'll be 3rd down. Hartford coming into this one with a big win last week in the quarterfinals, 53-13 over Colchester. And as we mentioned, the big upset by the Cougars, 21-15, did not score a point in the 2nd half after getting out to an early lead. Were able to hold off Burlington, and here is a 3rd and short. Handoff goes up the middle, and it appears that the Hurricanes have the 1st down. Referee's coming in, but it looks like he should have gotten over the 15-yard line, which is where he needed to get, but they do call it a 1st down. So we've seen 3 quick running plays, and Hartford, we know they can do both if they need to. They have a nice option play, and their quarterback really has a nice arm.
Yeah, he does, and Matt Trombley's team really, they're definitely more of a running team, but when they do have to call a passing play, he has confidence in his quarterback, and Tyler Hamilton.
Handoff again, running back slips before he got to the corner, and I believe that was Rhodes again. Cut far to the outside on a field that I'm sure is pretty wet after all the rain we've gotten, plus beat up from hosting a number of games this season. That's the one thing that you got to worry about, those quick cuts. And it didn't help the Hurricanes there as he fell about a yard behind the line of scrimmage, so that'll bring up 2nd and 11. Man in motion. The pitch goes to Nick Porter, number 11, and he cuts over to the left side and gets back to the line of scrimmage, plus 5 more yards. We'll bring it up to the 20-yard line, where that will be 3rd down and 5 for the Hurricanes.
3rd down and 5.
So as we approach 7:30 to play here in the first quarter, Cougars of Mount Mansfield forced a punt on their first possession. A very nice punt. Hurricanes took over at the 5, and now Hurricanes have advanced the ball. 3rd and 5 will get a first pass attempt. Dropping back and scrambling in the pocket. Nice throw to Rhodes, but it is incomplete. And a very nice play there by Hamilton to try and keep that play alive. And he had Rhodes just a little overthrown.
Yeah, he did have Rhodes, and Rhodes made a nice route there. He got some space, but Hamilton on the run forced to make a tough throw there, just over Rhodes' reach. Would have been a nice play, but got to credit Mount Mansfield for now forcing this 4th down.
All right, so only 15 yards gained on the Hurricanes' first drive, so they'll be in punt formation. Snap is away, punt is up, and the one man back there to return it, Silas Diamond, and he will look to return this one and break out. He gets 15 yards or so. He's tackled in front of the Hurricane bench, and that's where the Cougars will take over at the 45-yard line of the Hurricanes. Each team trading punts on their first possessions. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide. Cougars taking over for their 2nd possession, this time much better field position. Hurricanes 45. Carlson in the shotgun, and he hands it off to Hackney up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, and he is tackled at the 32 or 33-yard line, but not before. Looks like he has enough for the first down.
And that was Austin Gaudet, number 7, making that tackle there on Hackney. And when Hackney turns the corner and finds that hole, that's when he's explosive. So nice job by Gaudet, because if Gaudet didn't make that tackle, he was likely gone for the touchdown.
We've seen Hackney, he's been able to break free past that line of scrimmage. Really right now in this early going, the first 5+ minutes, the Mount Mansfield Cougars offensive line is winning the battle up front. And we'll come up with a 1st and 10. Another handoff to Hackney. He cuts back inside and once again breaks into the secondary. He is gang tackled by a couple Hurricane defenders, but when you're getting into the secondary and gaining 8 yards per play, doesn't matter who's tackling you.
Right, Hackney, we saw again, just so elusive. Looked like maybe he was going to get tackled back behind the line of scrimmage, but he made a couple moves, quick with his feet. Had a good gain there. It's a great running back.
2nd down and a long one. Carlson in the backfield, Hackney behind him. 2 wide receivers to his left, 1 or 2 to his right. So we got a 4 wide here. Carlson brought back past the southpaw, throws it deep into coverage. Luckily for the Cougars, it's overthrown because there were 2 Hurricane defenders there.
Yeah. For a second, it almost looked like Liam Bruno Nicholson, number 11 there from Mount Mansfield, maybe pushed off a little bit. Maybe could have been called for offensive pass interference, but the refs didn't see it that way. Now 3rd down here.
So 3rd and short. I'd be surprised if the Cougars put this one in the air. The way they've had the success on the ground,
right.
I mean, go for it. 2 plays here to get a yard, and they do give it to Hackney. He slips in the backfield, and he's touched down. Didn't need to be touched, as in high school, much like college. Once you're down, you're down. So that is an unfortunate situation there for the Cougars as they drop a couple yards, 2-3 yards, and now it's 4th and it's like about 4 maybe, long 3. Got to imagine they'd still go for it here deep into Hurricane territory, inside the 30. Not going to kick a field goal. Carlson, once again, he lines up in the shotgun. Hand off to Hackney, and he cuts to the left side, but he's immediately met by a host of Hurricane defenders, and he's wrapped up, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Cougars.
Nice job by Hartford's defense, really standing strong there. And obviously, I think the field condition is going to affect both teams' running backs, but it helped a little bit with Hackney there falling on third down. But obviously, they had to wrap him up there with just 3 yards to go, and they did their job. Nice job by Hartford.
So a turnover on downs after a punt on their first possession. Hurricanes now taking over for their second possession with a punt their first time. They only were able to gain 15 yards. And the keeper by Hamilton, he jukes one man, cuts to the left side, and comes back to the middle to gain 5 more yards and get the first down on the nice QB keeper on the option, Tyler Hamilton.
It almost looked like Hamilton even faked out a couple of his own linemen. This guy's kind of turned around. Who has the ball? They didn't know who to block for, but nice run by Hamilton. He's got the arm, fake the handoff, and he can run the ball. He's just a great quarterback.
So 1st and 10, handoff up the middle. This one is to number 43, Hunter Perkins, the senior running back. He's able to gash the defense for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Not quite to the 50-yard line.
Hey, local sports fans, 94.5 ESPN's Franklin and House Sports Talk Show can be seen on YCN's WYCX Outside Television at 5 p.m. every weekday. Tune in daily and get up to date on what's happening in sports.
So 2nd down and a long 3. The pitch goes to Rhodes. He cuts it back up the middle and gets over the 50-yard line to about the 49, where that'll bring up 3rd and 2. So Hurricanes having much more success on this drive than they did on their previous drive, and this is the Hurricane team that we're used to seeing with some option, some read plays. Haven't seen too many passes, but Coach Trombley wants to keep it on the ground here in the early going. 3rd and 2. You got to imagine 4-down territory here. And it looks like they won't need that, as I believe that's Rhodes who's able to easily get the first down, and then he's wrapped up, forward progress stopped at the 43-yard line.
Nice run there by Rhodes, fighting through some contact, picking up a couple extra yards. And also a nice job by him protecting the football. He came out of that pile, both hands on the ball. That's the most important thing, obviously, as a back, protecting the football and avoiding turnovers. Clock
continuing to move here in the first quarter. Hand off to the running back. That looked like that's 43, Hunter Perkins, and he gains a few yards, and Hurricanes are content to keep going up the middle, get 3 to 5 yards at a time. You do that enough, get the first down. They haven't really looked to do anything fancy yet.
Yeah, and the Hurricanes, they have a number of guys who can run the ball, so if you're defending them, you don't know who's going to get it. And obviously, Hamilton can run it as well, and he can throw. It's got to be a nightmare for a defense to try to read this Hurricanes offense.
So Hamilton in the shotgun. He has 3 running backs around him. Hands it off to Rhodes, who's wrapped up in the backfield, and he won't get anywhere. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and that will bring up 3rd down. So now a decision here. If you're Coach Matt Trombley, do you want to keep it on the ground and pick up the 8 yards, or you let Hamilton air it out?
Yeah, it's a good question, and you can see a little trickery, maybe a fake handoff, and then Hamilton runs it himself.
He's had the one throw, which wasn't a success, but other than that, it's been all running plays. Hamilton will drop back out of the shotgun. He's looking down the field, has a man, and the completion to Austin Gaudette. And that's going to move the chains. That's at the 30-yard line. First down, Hurricanes.
Well, Hamilton did a nice job of getting rid of that ball pretty quickly, but guys like Hunter Perkins and some other linemen did a nice job of blocking for him. Nice job, and we've seen Hamilton to Gaudette before. think Gaudette is Hamilton's favorite target, so we're probably going to see that connection a lot more here tonight.
So it took a little bit of time, almost 10 minutes, to get the first completion of the night for the Hurricanes, but that one goes for a first down. Handoff here to Rhodes. Slipping a little bit, gaining a couple yards on first down, bring up second down and about 7 or 8.
Today's telecast is being brought to you in part by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. And by MJ Harrington, jewelry and designers in Newport, New Hampshire.
So it's second down and 9.
So second down and about 9. This time the handoff to number 11, Porter, and he cuts to the left side. Over by the sideline, he is tackled after gaining 4 yards.
Porter on the carry.
Comes up short of the first down. That'll bring up third, and it looks like about 5 yards as we are inside 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. A brisk moving first quarter where both teams have really kept it on the ground all but 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of good defensive stands so far. Pretty good football. No turnovers, no penalties that I can think of, so it's been pretty clean.
3rd and 5. Hamilton hands it off to Porter, and he is immediately wrapped up in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of a yard and bring up 4th down. 4th and 6 yards, and Coach Matt Trombley will have his first decision to make. Does he want to go for it here deep in the territory or maybe kick the field goal, which would be quite a long field goal, 40-yarder, so probably we'll be seeing a going for it on 4th down. But clock moving, and Hartford seems to be content to let this clock run out here in the first quarter. They won't get a playoff. And after 1 quarter of play here in White River Junction, Vermont, no score between the Cougars and the Hurricanes. We'll take a break, come back with second quarter action. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.